Started from the bottom, now my whole team fucking here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team here. Nigga, started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team here. Nigga, started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team fucking here.
Well, hello. A little started from the bottom for a couple different reasons going on. Big week this past week. I know my recap did not work previously, so that was the actual theme song. There's a lot of the bottom end teams actually play some upsets. Got rid of a couple of the higher squads. Sorry, I'm deleting some different things at the same time. But a big week in our fantasy football league. Just due to all the upsets and mixing up the standings. Did want to give you a little bit of a fun fact this week. We are now at the halfway point of the season. So at the halfway point, I like to go ahead and look at draft status, who would be in the lottery, who would be in the playoffs, where we look, and who's the winners, who's the losers. Right now, we obviously know who's in first. Andy, him and the Rectal Renegades would both have a bye in the playoffs. Why we would have the 4 and 5 seeds, Forte Dash and Pierce Brosnan against each other, and the Fence Hopper, the 3 seed against Vinegar Strokes. We would be the playoff teams. In the consolation bracket, I would just like you all to know, I actually would have 3 of these guys as draft picks between the Dutch Oven, Final Ansa, and I Love Mike Ditka, Team 10, Duke, and the Prodigy. So those are your winners and losers so far. That's where we're at as far as what the playoffs would be looking like as of today. So let's go into the picks for the week. I was 4-2 last week, increased my record to 24-18, much better than Eric's son, and we're going to continue on strong. First game, looking at Forte Dash against the Fence Hopper, which I'm taking myself for obvious reasons. Fence Hopper has some roster issues going on right now. Danny Woodhead, Kobe Fleener, both have a bye this week. However, you look at his roster, who's he going to put in? He has nobody to put in. Manningham on the PUP list. Bush on a bye. Lattimore on the IR. Floyd with a bye. Stokely with a bye. Pope, he's not even playing. It looks like it might be the Toby Gearhart and Yoik Bell show. That's going to be the fill-ins this week. So, as I mentioned, I like my chances. Very confident, in fact, so confident. I am going to be starting a backup running back this week instead of making a trade, more than likely, that could secure me with that running back spot. Think about my team more long-term. Not quite trading away all my long-term contracts for one-year wonders. And just going to take a little bit of hit in the running back position this week because I still think I'm going to win, especially because Peterson did not practice today either. Interesting story to watch in case he gets shot down. Game 2, or shut down, excuse me. We have Duke and Unnecessary Fisting. Andy and Derek. It looks like it's going to be a blowout on paper. We have 6-1 versus 3-4. I'm liking Andy here. You know, we talked about his team weekly. That starts with the 2 big Cowboys, Romo and Bryant. Thomas continues to play like a man, and AJ Green is now coming full circle. Thank you, Hurricane, for just giving him up for nothing at this point. He starts his night out tonight with D'Angelo Williams and Brandon LaFell. So, you know, it could be a nice little win or loss, you know, right from Thursday. Derek's bringing out, you know, his big new acquisition, Zach Stacy. He's going to be one of his big scorers this week, according to the projections. But they're playing Seattle. I don't like it. You know, Riley Cooper and Ertz from Philadelphia are both starting for him. I'm also not a fan of starting 2 players from the same team, especially when they're both receivers, tight ends, you know, the same type category. You can ignore that call. And Tom Brady hasn't quite been himself all year. So basically, I think Andy's going to win by probably at least 35 points in this one, and Derek continues his downslide towards the bottom of the league. In Game 3, we have I Love Mike Ditka and the Prodigy, 2 up-and-comers, starting from the bottom, as the pregame show said. Going on up, this will probably be the closest game of the week. The thing that may hurt I Love Mike Ditka is he's not going to be able to start a kicker this week due to the fact that both Bullock and Good are on byes. That is bad team management. Because of that, he could miss out on 1 point, 0 points, or 20 points. Nobody knows. We also have a do not practice from Jones on his team, but James You couldn't hear my finger there, but he was about the only person who had James on any individual team that I've ever heard of. So he does have a new starting running back on his team that could help propel them to victories. On the Prodigy's end, Welker did not practice today. Manning isn't practicing. Cumberland didn't practice. Gronkowski had a limited practice. This game is really a toss-up at this point. However, we're just looking a little bit deeper with how good Griffin's playing now. I'm going to take the Prodigy. Maybe that's a semi-upset. I don't know. This is more like a push in my mind, but I will take the Prodigy. In Game 4, we have none other than Dutch Oven and Pierce Brosnan. I think this game is going to be the game of the week for me. Couple reasons why. One, a lot of value in this game. Pierce Brosnan's 5-2, Dutch Oven 3-4, both second place in their division. Dustin needs to keep in mind that C.J. Spiller did not practice today. However, he feels 10 times better than he did last week when he did practice. Somebody's lying here, and I think it might be C.J. Spiller. So, continuing on. Drew Brees has a porous Buffalo defense he's going to be playing against. On top of that, your New York Giants, aka all of Dustin's team, basically, they play Philadelphia this week, which Philadelphia, as we know, does not have a great defense, which would probably benefit him quite a bit. Also, Moreno against Washington. Washington has no defense. Over at Dutch Oven's team, he actually has 3 players that are projected 26 or more points, including 2 over 30. While projections are good, I don't think it's going to get that good. He did pick up Jordan Reed, which I think was a very valuable pickup for him. Jordan Reed's really coming into his own and playing out of his mind at this point. And, you know, he has a lot of the same players that are playing porous defenses, like Tampa Bay. Running against Cleveland is typically pretty easy for Jamal Charles. Washington on defense again. Another game that I think is going to be a push, but I am going to choose a mild upset, Pierce Brosnan. And I say an upset because Dutch Oven is projecting more points and is higher in the power rankings. So that's going to also be my upset of the week. Following, we have Vinegar Strokes and the Rectal Renegades. Both of these teams just decimated by injuries. Eric has 5 DNPs, and actually 6 if you count Doug Martin, on his roster right now, while the Rectal Renegades have 3 DNPs in, and more people on IR. Now, Jimmy Graham didn't practice today. It isn't looking good for this weekend, so sorry about that trade luck, I guess, as well. So he may not even have a tight end because Pitt is on a bye. Could start Gresham. I might put him in sooner than later, just as a safety net. He still has Powell in, which Powell's obviously right in the bench now, too. And who knows what's happening with the rest of his team as far as practice. Although when I look at Eric's team, again, Decker, Blackman, not practicing. Murray, limited practice. I know Eric said he's going to play, but is he going to play 5, 10 plays? Who knows? All game? Nobody knows. This game, there's no winner in this game either that really sticks out. Gosh. I'm gonna have to go Rectal Renegades just because of Peyton Manning. The Rectals to go 6-2. And finally, Team 10 and the final ANSA. The Battle of the Toilet Bowl, I will call this one. It looks like Steven Jackson is supposed to play this week, which will help out the final ANSA. However, Franklin's not getting the carries like he used to anymore because Lacey's just dominating. Fitzgerald, I don't think you can still trust. That's a bad team. Team 10, however, they do have Le'Veon Bell. Shorts did not practice as well today, but they have a lot of other players that could actually substantially do something. Colston, Steve Smith. Helu's going to be going up against Denver, which in a blowout, that's big. I think he's going to get a lot of catches, a lot of garbage time yards as well. I'm going to take Team 10 in the victory. And this will be the first week that Team 10 has not been the last rated team in our league after this. So, kind of a big deal. Uh-oh.